Hola, welcome to my channel. My name is Crocodile Julio, and today I'm gonna start one of my first series on tips around the house. So today I'm gonna change the flowers, so I'm gonna prep the bed first and probably buy the flowers later on today or tomorrow. But I wanted to share with you guys just what I do in case anybody out there wants to do it themselves. This for me is really motivation to do it myself, or else I'll just keep putting it off. But for this video, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna start off by removing all the old flowers, and I'm start off by telling you guys I don't have any fancy editing, so it's not gonna be the greatest quality, but the work hopefully will be. All right, so I'm gonna start off first by putting on some gloves. Okay, gloves are optional. I normally don't use them, but my hands are getting really dried and cracked, and so I'm just gonna go with these. When you work with dirt, the dirt will suck up all the water out of your hands. So first thing you want to do is pick the flowers. So I like to get a bucket to throw them in, and one of the first flowers I'm gonna get is right here, and I think I'm gonna keep the lavender, but so you see I'm just gonna pick these out of here. And these ones right here, I was having a hard time keeping these alive, those little pom-poms, and it was because they were literally getting attacked by snails. I don't know if you guys could see the snail, but snails were eating this particular plant. On both sides I have identical planters. So that was it. Really quick way to just pick the flowers out. Now what you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to till it. Mix up the dirt, loosen it up, get some air in there because the roots need air. So I suggest you try to turn your dirt, till it a little bit before every time you plant flowers or change the plant material. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can use a shovel or a pickaxe. Now with the shovel, let me see if I can put the camera here a little bit closer so you guys can get a better look at what I'm doing. So I'm gonna pause this and make sure everything's in the right place. So what you're gonna want to do is just mix up the dirt. So this will be step one in mixing the dirt, is just kind of to turn it. So hopefully you guys can see this real good. And basically all I'm going to do is loosen up the dirt. And so this is what you'll do with the shovel. This is not a really huge flower bed, so it's easier to do it manually. If not, you could always rent a rototiller, the Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever you prefer. So this is one way to do it, and then you just gotta mix it up, break it up. All right, and this is basically what you want to end up with. Nice dirt like this. So another option is the pickaxe, which is probably a lot easier if you have it. That's one of the biggest things, is having the right tools for a job. If you have the right tools for a job, it's always easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a head start on this, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so I'm done turning the bed. You know, a lot of people call this rototilling, but you're tilling it, and basically you're turning it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've turned it, and now we're gonna commence the breaking it up and grading it. Now by grading, I don't mean A, B, C, D kind of grade. We're talking about leveling it out. So we're gonna start on that, and for that I get what's called a steel rake. I get the steel rake and I start breaking everything up and grading it. All right, this will start getting rid of all the roots that have came. I have a lot of trees and bushes around here, so a lot of the roots start making the way in here because there's always plenty of water. So with this, you're going to start breaking it down and grading it. All right? So you just keep doing this until your whole thing is nice and clean, soft, tilled, turned dirt. And you can start removing all this ugly roots that are formed either from your old plants or nearby trees and bushes. So I'm going to continue this and we'll be right back. All right, so I've been going at it, really only been going at it for about 2 minutes, doesn't take long. But I go back and forth like this, breaking it up and collecting all the trash and roots that are in here. Crocodile Julio. So what happens, the idea behind doing this with the steel rake, you're breaking up the clumps of dirt that turn into little rocks, and removing what help those turn is by doing this, like it's kind of like sifting, where the dirt will go through the teeth of the rake, and hopefully this will catch stuff like this, and then you end up with a ball of roots that you could just end up removing by hand to leave it cleaner. You can see I'll just collect all the old roots. Alright, throw them away into my bucket. So I have my old flowers and their lifeline, the roots in there. Alright. So now we're going to get on to the next step. Well, actually, I'm going to do this a couple more times, back and forth. Once, two, do over. Just to make sure it's clean, and it looks pretty clean. So I think I'm almost ready to start the grading process. To start grading. Yeah, it looks pretty clean now. There's one that I missed. So it's pretty clean. So what I'm going to do now is start the grading process. Alright. Had a couple there that I missed. So we're going to start the grading process. Now the grading process, let me finish this up over here. I'm going to use what's called a landscape rake. Now a landscape rake is 3 feet wide. So when I built this planter, it's by no mistake that I made it 3 feet 2 inches wide, so I could fit my landscape rake in here, because this is a wonderful grading. So when you're going to grade, look at this. It'll do the whole thing like this. That is sweet. Look at that. Would you look at that? Look at it. Just look at it. Sweet, sweet grading right there. All right. I got a hard piece right there, looks like. Yep, another root. Take out these balls of root, folks. It'll make it easier for you in the future. Alright, so there it is, folks. That is how you grade a flower bed. Now this part right here, if you can see it, hopefully you can. I don't have a lot of space because my wife didn't want me to take out that lavender plant which I wanted to replace, but she said leave it. So now I got to do this little part by hand. Take out all the balls of roots that I can find by hand, and then just grate it by hand. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is water this and compact it. All right. So I'll be back with the hose. Okay, so what comes next is you'll actually be able to check your grade. There's different ways to do this. Maybe on another video I can show you guys how to do it mechanically or with an actual level. But you can give it the old eye test, right? And just fill it up with water and see if it's level. If you see too much water going to one certain spot, that's what we call a low spot, and you want to fill it up. Because you want this even, or you can get a grade depending on what you want. Me, I like to pull mine even because I have a tremendous grade right after the planter on my grass. I have a really huge grade that goes down, so I don't need a grade on my planter. And I'm the type of person that likes to water deep. I water deep and infrequent, so I like my water to stay in place. You know, so a lot of it, I'm gonna wash off these edges real quick, put the jet on. But I don't see any major puddles forming right away. So I think the grading is not bad. You can see the water's kind of staying in place for the most part, wherever it lands. And that's what I'm going for. So I would say this is a pretty good grade. Not bad. Good enough for a planter, definitely. Good enough. So I like what I'm seeing. It's kind of staying where it lands, which is what I want. So I think I'm done with the grading part. So now what's going to be next is for me to go to the store and buy the flowers. But in actuality, I still got to do this second planter because I have two. So I got to do this one. But there you go, guys. I hope this came in handy to any of you guys that are trying to grade a flower bed. And that's all I gotta say. Stay tuned for more Crocodile Julio videos, and hopefully you can help me and I can help you get stuff done around your house. Ciao!